Hey there and welcome. This is Sharon Peterson and I wanted to talk to you about chicken tractors today. So early in the summer I built, or actually I built one of them. My husband helped me build the other one. We have two chicken tractors, two styles, one of which has worked fairly well and the other one, well, maybe not so much. So I thought I would just do a quick video on how we did both of them and tell you what I would do differently with the one that didn't work so very well. Okay, so this is the first chicken tractor that we put together, and I basically did it this way because it was super easy. All it is it's two panels, two full cattle panels. We just hooked them together at the top, made like a triangle. My husband built the ends for me, and my plan was again to use it as a chicken tractor. This, however, is the one that I would not do again. It works really well as a little pen, but it's not very movable. It's just really long and awkward. I do have wheels on it, and so that worked, and I'll show you how we did that. But this will probably be disassembled here fairly soon, and I don't think we're going to use it anymore. Okay, so like I said, I just took two cattle panels. I tied them together up at the top, put chicken wire on them. There is no wire on the bottom. My husband built the wood ends for me, and for wheels what we did is we had these old bicycle wheels, and he just put a bracket on the end of this bottom board, kind of reinforced it with that metal, that metal, I don't know what it is, but the wheel just slides in there and then you can move it around. What you have to do is you have to go to the other end and pick it up, and then you roll it, kind of like a big cart. It was awkward, it was big, it was heavier than I thought it would be, and so it works as a little pen. But when I was trying to use it to move it around every day, it was very frustrating, and I was upset with myself for even making the thing. Once I decided, okay, it's not a good tractor, I just need to put it in one spot and use it that way, then it was fine. We used this when my ducklings were too big, or actually not too big, they were too messy for my indoor brooder anymore. I was able to put them in here and it worked great. When my guineas were outgrowing again their indoor brooder, it was great. I could put them in here. We opened the door, let them out during the day, threw grain inside, and kind of trained them to come back to this pen. For that, it worked great. We put a brace across there and across there, thinking it would help with the awkward longness of it to move it, but it didn't help. And then of course we covered it with a tarp to make sure we had shade and protection from the wind. We only had the door open on one end, which is another thing that I would do different. I would have the door open on both ends, but this is basically an old freezer rack that we just hooked up there and made a door out of it. So that is the tractor that works as a pen, and it does not work as a tractor. So let me go over and show you the other one that I have that I like much better. This tractor was a much better idea. It was super simple to build. I call it the chicken tractor that a non-builder can build, because I actually built this myself. So it's one arch. I cut it in half to make my two arches, so it's short. Then the doors are a simple flip up. I've got bungee cords here that I use to close the door. Both ends open up. Of course, it's got a tarp over the top to keep, make sure they've always got shade and protection from the wind, or not the wind, from the rain. Okay, ladies, those of you who are like me and you don't build things, what I did is I followed the directions from Living Traditions Homestead. They have these tractors. I did my door a little bit different than they did, and I kind of like my door better, but I'm going to give you a link to go over there for the instructions on how to make this, because I am not a builder. If my husband did this, he would have probably done it different. In fact, there were a few little things that after the fact he tweaked for me and fixed. Just a little extra bracing on the ends here. But what I did, because I really wanted to build it myself, and I'm not a builder, So I waited until he was going to be gone. Does anybody else do that? That's a true confession here, because I wanted to do it myself, and I knew that if I had questions, I would ask him a question, and then he'd end up just doing it for me. So a non-builder can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so like I said, it is one full cattle panel that I cut in half, and I used both pieces to make the two arches. They're overlapped slightly in the center. The ends are on the inside. Let me open this up. So all I did was I took the 4 boards, screwed them together. I put the little bracing in the corner. That's one thing. I think my husband thought I should have made the bracing bigger. And then the edges of the cattle panels are hooked onto the boards all the way around with these little plumber's tape. I think it's called plumber's tape. And that's what I used to hook that up. I used plumber's tape also to hook the bottom of this door up. And that was probably not sturdy enough. If I had to do it again, I would come up with something a little bit sturdier, because this door is opened and shut, you know, on a daily basis. When I first did it, I had the door hooked up here, up at the top of this board. And that was not good because I step on it. You have to step on it to reach in there and do whatever you need to do. So I moved it down to the bottom, and then it just lays flat, and it works really well. For the strap, I just have a ratchet strap that I use as my rope to pick it up and drag it around. Again, this door over here opens and shuts. My bungee cords kind of ran out of stretch, so I need to replace those. That's what they looked like at the end of this summer. So they've been on there all summer long. You know, if you have to replace one, you know, once a year, replace your bungee cords, that's probably not a big deal. But you might come up with some other idea on how to keep those doors shut. This has been, see those guys over there? That's been their house for all summer long. And it's nice because I can move them. Ducks are messy. And yeah, it works for me. And I did it myself. The chicken tractor for the non-builder. Again, I'll put a link to Living Traditions. He has a whole video with step by step. And like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. So this tractor I would build again. My triangle idea did not work, and I would not build that again. Okay, so this is the tractor that I would build again. Actually, I have 2 of them. It works really good. It's short though, so if you want something that's a walk-in, this is not for you. What you could do is just not cut your cattle panels in half and build it much taller. And then you could walk in there, but then you're going to have to add a door, and you know, it's just, the ends are going to be a little bit different. So just keep that in mind. This is super easy. I drag it around. Like I said, my ducks have been living in here all summer long. Yeah, and it works for me, and I built it myself. So you guys have a great day. I hope this was helpful, and we'll talk to you in the next video.